Mitingi pinis wampla way where bami making will bring it down paglinawan na Islaman Supremo.
Mistratin tok pinis.
Lia. Still na bisin pawabla yuan Lia.
Minus sawala with him something tok line stop.
You get up the fight with me.
DJCell TV, home of rugby league. Dial *515# to subscribe. The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome. This is TVWAN News. I'm Maricela Kelaton.
And I'm Rex Litter. Join me for sports later in the bulletin.
The national government, through the Ministry for Information and Communications Technology, has announced its strong support for the draft United Nations Convention against cybercrime. The ICT Minister, Timothy Masiu, emphasized the importance of this convention for Papua New Guinea and the global community. The objectives of the convention align closely with PNG's commitment to enhancing its capabilities and safeguarding its citizens, businesses, and digital infrastructure. By endorsing and implementing this convention, Papua New Guinea is taking a decisive stand to protect the country's citizens and digital future. Secretary for Works and Highways, David Were, has denied media reports on the appointment of his successor. Were said no formal instruments have been issued for his replacement and his appointment is still valid and there is no vacancy.
Secretary for Works and Highways David Were has clarified that there is no vacancy in the position of the secretary. He said if he was to be removed, his performance must be questioned and that there is a process to follow. He further explained that the Department of Works and Highways is doing something bigger to move the country forward and that the result of its performance are all over the country.
It's a process to follow. Department of Works is doing something bigger. First time ever for this country, and the results of our performance are all over the place in this country. Whether you go to the New Britain Island, down to Samarai, to Telephone and Tamobile, to the Gulf Southern Islands Highway. Those are the things we are doing for our people under the Connect PNG program. And so
Secretary Were pointed out that he still has 2 years to go before his contract expires. He said there is no vacancy because his contract is not been revoked. However, Mr. Were this morning met with senior staff of the department to keep working and not be distracted by this information.
We have a 4 years contract that was renewed, or actually it was put out on a public tender. We applied, and through the merit-based system, we went through the proper process and got a 4-year contract renewed in 2024, 2022, and I'm in my second term now, and I still have 2 more years to go. And current substantive contract of employment expires in 2026.
Were said although it is the prerogative of the cabinet to make decisions on the appointment, Departmental heads have rights in their contracts.
People are seeing for themselves, and if it was based on my performance, I would feel better, But without anyone finding any issue with our performance, we expect a bit of fair treatment as well.
This is Vera's second term as Secretary for Works and Highways after he was reappointed by Cabinet in 2022 for another 4 years. Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
Octadi Mining Limited has initiated a 36.1 million Kina Road construction project under the national government's tax credit scheme to connect the remote villages of Atemekit and Kawarabib in Western Province. The 28.74-kilometer road will be built by a local company, Fly Engineering and Asset Management Limited, and is expected to be complete in 30 months. Currently accessible only by helicopter, these villages are home to the principal landowners of the Octadi mine. OTML CEO Kedi Ilimbits and local leaders, including North Fly MP James Donald, have emphasized the project's significance in enhancing connectivity and infrastructure for the region. Papua New Guinea has an estimated 100 million ounces of gold that is yet to be mined, according to Prime Minister James Marape. The Prime Minister revealed this when officially closing the Geoscience Exploration and Extraction Conference 2024 at the APEC House in Port Moresby. Marape at the conclusion of the 2024 Geoscience Exploration and Extraction Conference at the APEC House in Port Moresby said Papua New Guinea has a yarn geology and that the country sits on possibly 6 or 7 plate tectonics that is still forming, with mineralization continuously taking place. The Prime Minister said in terms of policy, the government is looking at ensuring that Papua New Guinea harvests and processes its resources in the country, so that the nation value adds and exports finished products.
What is the possible total volume of gold in ounces we have in our country? And from what was given, it says we have around 100 million ounces of gold possibly in our country. If you equate that to today's price, and last night when I looked through the price, it was over $2,400 an ounce. So if it is at today's price, that's a total asset base of $150 billion worth of gold we have in our country.
The Prime Minister assured the mining sector that it would continue to receive government support, adding that the government was looking at regulatory framework and legislative environment that does not hurt investors, but at the same time, PNG value adds from the harvest of its resources.
And the economy prospers as a result of resources being harvested from our country. You put the resources on auction, put a map on auction, put the exploration spaces on auction. The best companies out there who will have cleaner technology, better resource benefit sharing formula, who can respect my landowners and provinces better, they could come in, bid, bring in the capital, and work with local partners to develop these resources.
The Prime Minister said that the government is looking at a transparent way of farming out exploration and ensuring that the best companies are participating in exploration and development of the country's resources. He said the Department of Mineral Policy and Geohazards Management and the Mineral Resources Authority have been asked to look at the possibility of auctioning resources. He said this was something that the government was looking at very closely. The 2024 Geoscience Exploration and Extraction Conference has revived a platform for discussions in geology, exploration and extraction after 18 years. Mineral Resources Authority Managing Director Jerry Gary said the recent conference was a welcome event that was truly a success. Mineral Resources Authority Managing Director Jerry Gary, at the closing ceremony of the 2024 Geoscience Exploration and Extraction Conference, emphasized the significance of the three-day gathering of industry experts, mining and mineral sectors, together with representatives from state agencies, government departments, and the private sector.
And I'm very pleased with the first GE conference. The outcome has been superb. For 3 long days, we had people who have fully packed in this very room.
MD Gary commended the participants and the conversations that were facilitated on the platform.
I must admit that the level of conversation at this platform is truly world-class. I am proud and very proud to also say that the young Papua New Guinean professionals have really stepped up. Indeed, they are compatible with anyone in the world.
On day one of the conference, in his opening remarks, MD Gary revealed that there was a decline in mineral exploration. The MD said from 2012 to 2018, most of the country was taken up by companies exploring for mineral resources. He said today, exploration activity had declined significantly, indicating that it was a concern.
I am also excited, particularly about the recent work done at Octedi in connecting Mount Ian to the north, Mount Ian Intrusive Complex and the Octedi Complex, with the accidental discovery of the breccias, and the level of scientific work that went through to suggest that there is probably one mother that is driving all this over a distance of perhaps 2 or 4 kilometer radius.
Gary said in order to overcome the challenge of depleting resources, the Mineral Resources Authority had come up with a 5-year program, which includes testing of deep-seated porphyry system, providing quality baseline geoscientific data, testing fly and new potential geological areas. This is TV1 News. We'll be back after the break. Stay tuned.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Laga, Bunyamyumi.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
Quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, My whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles. Tastier, but you like it more.
Welcome back. Information and Communications Technology Minister and Chairman of the Pacific ICT Ministers Dialogue, Minister Timothy Massieu, on Sunday, 11 August, met with Solomon Islands counterpart Minister for Communications and Aviation, Frederick Kologeta, in Honiara. Massieu updated Kologeta on the implementation of the declaration that an action plan to implement the declaration was finalized by a correspondence group. The document will be presented to the forum leaders at the upcoming 53rd Leaders Meeting in Tonga for noting. Apart from the meeting, the two leaders also discussed potential areas where both countries can cooperate to deliver connectivity, digital transformation, and broadcasting to their people. Massieu expressed satisfaction on the outcome of the discussions. The late president of the PNG Trade Union Congress has been described as a beacon of hope for the hopeless and downtrodden and a gem amongst rocks. Members of the PNG Trade Union Congress gathered today at the PNG TUC office in Port Moresby and paid tribute to the late John Pasca.
If loyalty and passion can be measured by the balance of bank accounts, late John Pasca's departure from life will leave an indelible lesson that leaders of today can and must learn from. General Secretary for PNG Trade Union Congress Anton Sekum, when paying his tribute, said late John Pasca held close to his heart loyalty and passion that saw his commitment and loyalty to PNG TUC for the past 30 years. Late Pasca has never been a chameleon that changes its colors to suit the environment or the circumstance he is confronted with.
Its contribution to minimum wage and increases in wages have a tremendous impact in increasing the revenue to the state, which is used to fund the public services in terms of health and education. Through wages increases, workers' income taxes increase proportionately.
Late President Pasca was not only a remarkable champion of workers' rights in PNG and the Pacific, but a vicious defender of the national constitution and democracy. He steadfast believed that the constitution is supreme over parliament, promotes and perseveres the right of every citizen to justice, liberty, and dignity. These are some of the tributes from some of the PNG TUC members.
There are a few people in this country who shine like stars, and no doubt, late John Pasca is one of them. A believer in democracy, protector of the Constitution, a fighter of social justice, now late John has left us.
His leadership cannot be measured. He was the rock upon which this country was built.
John Pasca and our forefathers who have gone before him, they fought for this and they sacrificed their lives. They fought for him in those removal times. It was very hard for them fighting with the white men, white colony. And these were very men who sacrificed their soul, their family, to fight for what we benefit today.
The late Pasca succumbed to death last weekend at the Port Moresby General Hospital. Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
Pacific Province is set to produce its own day-old chicks to supply outgrower farmers starting in September this year. The new hatchery at Haripmo Farm in Yanguru South Sea District has the capacity to produce 20,000 day-old a week, says the farm manager, Chris Prestwood. Presswood says they will start with producing 5,000-day-old chicks on September 1st next month and will ramp up to between 10,000 to 20,000 chicks a week. Yangon Sausia MP Richard Maru said this endeavour is exciting news for the province, as they will now be able to support thousands of families in the district and 2 Sepik provinces to go into owning village-based chicken farms. A young man named as the main suspect behind the vandalism of the Warman abattoir has surrendered. The suspect during the incident was alleged to have threatened and assaulted the group supervisor of contractor YFIG while he was inspecting the fencing that's part of the primary works of rehabilitating the facility for the Livestock Development Corporation. The suspect, in his late 20s, gave himself up to the Menga ward councillor, who then brought him to the Caltex police station in Wewak on Saturday, August 10. LDC Finance Manager Otto Wangilen was on site over the weekend to address settlers and landowners. He said the LDC is not taking this incident lightly, and regardless, it will continue with the rehab work. Locals in the area revealed that the alleged assault and vandalism incident occurred on Thursday, 8 August, by the main suspect and a handful of youths who proceeded to cut some of the erected fencing and pulled out at least 5 fence posts over disagreements with nearby landowners about the project.
The people of our governor blame strong man. He fights for this kind of things. And this is the only happening now in East Sepik. People of Warman, you can really see this modernized facility taking place.
Now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2578 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2503 US, $0.3781 Australian dollars, $0.2217 euro, and 36.44 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, all closed higher except coffee and crude oil closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. Thanks for staying with us. Join us after the break with news from abroad.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Add your kakaro, get up and big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Magic, the taste PNG loves.
The Toyota JD Hiace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hiace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hiace bus and experience the Hiace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
More clean, more sweet. Flame natural white sugar. Make more. Scale Rise brings to you some Scale Indie vibes this independence. Cashing out a total of 300,000 Kina in prize money around PNG this independence. 4 fortnightly draws, 75 fortnightly winners, 300 total Scale Rise winners, and 1,000 Kina Scale Indie prize for every Scale winner. Here's how to enter the promotion. Buy any Scale or Ori Rice product, write your full name and contact details on the back of the store receipt, drop your entry into the entry box in store. For more information, either check in store or follow us on our Scale Rise PNG page. Terms and conditions apply. Scale Rise, and buy you like it.
Thanks for staying with us. In news abroad, as Papua New Guinea prepares for a historic visit from Pope Francis in September, incumbent Pacific Islands Forum Chair and Cook Islands Prime Minister Mark Brown has hinted that the event could extend beyond PNG's borders, potentially involving leaders from across the Pacific. The papal visit is scheduled to begin on 6 September with a candlelight welcome for the Holy Father. Over the following days, the Pope will engage in a series of activities. One of the highlights of the visit will be the Pope's journey to Vanimo in West Sepik Province and will conclude with a youth festival at Sir John Guy Stadium on 9 September. Brown's remarks suggest that the papal visit could become a broader Pacific event, with regional leaders potentially joining in what is said to be a landmark occasion for the entire region. As details unfold, the anticipation grows for what could be one of the most significant gatherings of Pacific leaders in recent history. Unionized Australian federal police officers are threatening to abandon their security post at Parliament House in a push for a 20% pay bump.
Really concerning development here regarding the security and safety of parliamentarians and everyone who works here in Parliament House. The AFPA, so that's the union that represents the Australian Federal Police, is locked in a pay dispute with the AFP and the federal government. The union says that the AFP are the lowest paid police force in Australia. They're pushing for a 20% pay increase over a period of 3 years. Obviously, the AFP plays a key role here at Parliament House, patrolling the perimeter of the building. When we saw protesters come onto the roof of Parliament House in recent weeks, the AFP played a key role in bringing that situation back under control. But the AFP officers, the unionised officers, are willing to abandon their posts here at Parliament House. Alex Caruana, the AFPA president, spoke to News Breakfast a little earlier about why they've chosen this time to propose this industrial action.
We intend to take action during the sitting week. Obviously, we've got to iron out the finer details with the AFP in terms of the notice period, but we will be withdrawing our labour from some key Commonwealth assets, for instance, Parliament House and the airports. But I want to stress that this is something that we aren't taking lightly, and it is something that we see as a last resort. We think that the government can intervene here, and they can step up, and they can say to us and to the AFP membership that we're going to get a better pay offer.
The AFP has responded to the AFPA, that's the unions, saying that they will be taking this action or proposing to take this action outside Parliament House. They say they haven't received formal notification of this action, but they want to be very clear the AFP will vigorously object to any action that jeopardises the safety and protection of high office holders, parliamentarians or designated airports. In terms of when this proposed action is proposed to take place, well, it could be happening late this week or early next week, but obviously many more negotiations to take place between these parties that are disputing over this pay increase, so watch this space.
The Marshall Islands will receive $6.2 million from Aotearoa's foreign minister to adapt to climate change as rising sea levels and strengthening typhoons put the island nation at greater risk. The sea level around the Marshall Islands has risen more than twice the rate of the rest of the world since 1993, roughly a third of a centimeter each year, with fears it will rise over a meter by 21,000, rendering much of the nation uninhabitable. The visit is the New Zealand government's first trip to the Marshall Islands in 17 years. As climate change effects intensify in the Pacific, climate activist group Pacific Island Students Fighting Climate is calling for significant and multinational efforts to establish mechanisms and systems that meet the needs of the Pacific peoples. It's probably every dog owner's dream, taking their pooch to work every day. At one Tasmanian business, that dream is a reality, and it appears welcoming four-legged friends into the office has a number of benefits.
Shani Hutchinson doesn't have to leave her dog Essie at home when she goes to work. Her employer, insurer RACT, has allowed dogs in its Hobart office for several years.
Seeing everyone's faces light up when the dog walks around the call centre and they can all reach out and give her a little pat, and it clearly makes people's day.
At first, dogs were only allowed in the office on Fridays, but now they are welcome every day.
Having my best friend in here with me and not having to leave her home whilst I'm at work, it's just calming and it makes everyone happy.
I'm quite new to RACT as well, so it means that I'm meeting people. So they come in to see her and I get to chat to people, so it's really good.
It's the best, the smiles, the cuddles, the licks, the pats. It's awesome.
There's a roster to limit the number of dogs on each floor on any given day, and the dogs have their own ID cards.
And as an employer, we're really focused on employee wellbeing, employee engagement, and we just saw this as a great thing to try and see how it went. And it went absolutely gangbusters.
Dogs just have this wonderful way of breaking down barriers. I think it's a positive effect all round for me and for Billy.
Companion Animal Network Australia is on a mission to help get more pets into more workplaces.
It's proven that it decreases stress in the workplace, increases productivity, it retains staff, it brings joy to the staff, it causes a greater collaborative working space for people.
For our contact centre, they can be dealing with a number of stressful situations. So we've also seen that dogs in the office has had a soothing and a calming effect in some of those stressful situations.
Unfortunately, not every pet is suitable for workplaces. Rabbits, for example, are prone to chewing on cords and can cause some serious damage. And not every workplace is suitable for pets. If you work in a kitchen or around chemicals, it's probably for the best that you leave your furry friend at home.
Australia has increased its investments in maritime initiatives in Pacific Island countries. Australia's Foreign Minister Penny Wong, during the Pacific Islands Foreign Ministers meeting in Fiji on Friday, announced that Australia will invest around 18.5 million Australian dollars towards the construction of a Pacific-owned oceans and fisheries research vessel. Minister Wong announced that this is a top priority for the Pacific region and is supported by partners in the Blue Pacific. The vessel will collect vital scientific information to sustainably manage ocean resources and monitor climate change impacts. Australia increased in maritime initiatives also accounts for investment of 18.5 million to enhance Pacific-led fisheries surveillance and enforcement. Queensland's largest annual event, the Ekka, is underway in Brisbane.
The annual Ekka Show is well and truly underway here at Brisbane Showground. There's been thousands of people that have been herding through those gates behind me since Saturday for its 145th year. Now, speaking of herds, let's go check them out. The beef stud competition is the largest showing of its kind in the Southern Hemisphere. Around 1,200 beef cattle will be paraded around the arena over the next week, just like my mate over here, Brendel VB. Well, in true Queensland style, it's not a show without an Ekka staple. Now, I'm joined by the gorgeous Chloe Newen from The Common Good. Chloe, tell me, these are desserts, but desserts with a cause.
That's right. They're not just a once-a-year treat that comes out to the Ekka. All proceeds from these Ekka Strawberry Sundaes actually support research, patient care programs and equipment at the Prince Charles Hospital, which is actually Australia's leading cardiology hospital.
How wonderful. Now tell me, what's the secret behind the perfect strawberry sundae?
Look, I don't think it's a secret that these are absolutely delicious, but what goes into it is really special. So we have over 20 tonne of ice cream made right here in Brisbane by Lick Ice Cream, over 6 tonne of farm fresh strawberries that are picked overnight in Warman. But I think what the most special thing is the 2,000 volunteers, some of them who are right here behind us, who put all of their heart and soul and volunteer their time serving up these treats to showgoers.
Now, what's an Eka without these adorable creatures? The animal nursery is where all the fun's at, and the lovely James Kemp has got the wonderful job of being able to take care of all these cute, cuddly friends. James, how did you get this gig?
Oh, I've been doing it for 26 years, so to be honest, I'm too old to remember. No, that's not true. It was about teaching people about farm animals, and this is where it ended up.
Well, of course, it's not a show without a good old wood chopping competition. I'm joined by 12-year-old Archie Head, who's one of the youngest competitors. Archie, tell me, how did you get into wood chopping?
Well, we all started out with little wooden axes and following our friends and all that. And we progressed up to steel axes and then up to bigger axes like these ones.
How good. Can you give me a bit of a demo? How do you exactly do a really good wood chop?
Well, what you want to do is you want to start with your left hand. If you're left hand or right hand, you want to start with your left hand down here and your right hand on top of it basically. And then you're going to like bring it up and slide your hand up, and then you're going to just basically drop it.
How cool. That is so awesome. It's just one of the many things that you can do here at the Eka Show.
That ends the news segment. We'll have sports after the break. Stay tuned.
Beauty is my business, but beauty sure is a tough game. Filters are great, but great skin, better. And that's why my skin deserves the best. So I choose self-care, soaps that gently nourish my skin, resulting in a radiant look, made with tropical ingredients. I trust self-care from City Pharmacy, so bring it on! My skin is ready and so am I.
Back in '69, Frank Hutchison started a journey when he met Bill King, who ran a remote travel business. King needed four-wheel drive parts so strong, so reliable, they'd make the return trip after enduring the rigours of the Aussie outback. This forged Terrain Tamer's beginnings. Over 50 years later, Frank and his team continue to innovate and create parts strong enough to survive the toughest terrains on the planet. And best of all, the customer is still king. Terrain Tamer, parts that will get you home.
These two are creeping into your personal space. Why don't we send them packing? Oh, maybe not.
Bing bang bing, bum bum.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
At the PNG LNG project, we are proud of our long-standing partnership with the Kumuls, as they represent the hopes and aspirations of so many Papua New Guineans. Rugby league is more than just a sport. It promotes our shared values of leadership, teamwork, respect, personal integrity, and excellence. Lessons learnt on the pitch carry on throughout life and go beyond serving ourselves.
Welcome back. Highlands Momase Regional Athletics Championship in Goroka, Eastern Highlands Province, concluded yesterday on a high note. The championship attracted athletes as far as East Sepik Province and Autonomous Region of Bougainville. Team East New Britain didn't make the tournament due to flight cancellations. Team NCD, Team Athletics PNG, teams from Highlands provinces, including Morobe, also showed up for the championship. Athletes participated in both track and field events. Both track events, the athletes only participate in 100 meters and 200 meters races. They also competed in 4x4 and 4x100 meter relays. The field events include shot put, long jump and javelin. National Sports Institute in Goroka hosted 15 athletic championships since its inception 25 years ago. The championship for Athletics PNG continues with the next event in Port Moresby, then to New Island Province, before returning to Port Moresby in December for the National Championship to round up the year for athletics. A small window of opportunity has emerged for the Hela franchise, Croton Hela Wigmen, to crack into the top 6 calculations, following their 20-4 victory over more fancied Guest Resources Central Dabaris on Saturday at the Santos National Football Stadium. However, 4 Dabaris still occupy the 6th spot on 19 points, while Wigmen are closing in on 17 points. With the final round of the 2024 DGCL ExxonMobil Cup regular season set for this weekend, here's a sneak preview of how the final top 6 would look like and how results would depict the team's final standing on the points table and of round 18.
An interesting scenario could be looming at the end of this week's round of matches that will determine the final top 6 teams before the semi-final series starts on August 25. Round 18 will see the Dabaris find themselves in a vulnerable situation when they face the might of the 2023 reigning champions Angamioks on Saturday at the Santos National Football Stadium. In the preceding match, Croton Hela Wigmen lock horns with Port Moresby Vipers, which could go either way, but on form Wigmen look the favourites for now. For the Dabaris, though still occupy 6th place on 19 points after their loss to Wigmen, they have their backs against the wall this Saturday to try and knock off defending premiers in a do-or-die situation. Interestingly, should the Dabaris lose to Mioks and Wigmen beat Vipers, Wigmen grab 6th spot. Vice versa, should Vipers beat Wigmen and the Dabaris still lose to Mioks, they secure 6th spot for the finals. Recapping on last Saturday's loss to Wigmen, the Dabaris coach Solomon Kuluniasi had mixed reactions after the match, saying the boys could have done better. The lack of good awareness and control by their spine through the middle did not help their cause, though commended his boys for their efforts, but have to be better against Mioks this week.
Not the result we wanted, but it's a good lesson for us. It's almost finals footy, if you know what I mean. Quick play the balls, intense line speed. So we'll go back. I'm glad this happened. It'll show us where we can improve on, especially against Mioks next week. At halftime, we talked about 14-0, so we talked about winning it defensively. Once we stopped that first flow, then the points would come. Things didn't go our way, so we'll regroup again and we'll be better next week.
Wigmen coach Ian Yarrow, on the other hand, praised his boys for their consistency throughout the contest, especially the leadership group in the team, who showed good control in their execution and were relentless in their defense as well to shut out the flamboyant Dabaris attacking flair.
Yeah, it is. We have to really dig deep and work hard for it. We know where we sit in the ladder. Especially, Dabaris, they're a quality team, being an informed team this year. To get a win back with the last weekend result didn't go our way, but to get 2 points today is just awesome for the boys. Absolutely. I think defense is one of those key factors working for us for the few games. We're coming into this game knowing that they're a quality side, so we just really need to work with our defense for the last few weeks, and that's paid out with the result today.
All throughout the weekend, we play work.
defensive mda walk mda to try and bakam lo and bakam. Defense big da santin mda sa dabaris also open wide and also use speed stab also. Mda walk big lo the side lo. Mda defensive mda prepare. I'm disla me personally individually me walk logan training field logan so. Lo kam le na put him there for them. Me put him the team lo mina ye. Help him all boys lo min chala field.
In the last round of the season this weekend, on Saturday, Wigman meet Vipers at 1 p.m, while in the main fixture, 6th place the Barries take on 2nd place Miox at 3 p.m. at the Santos National Football Stadium. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Central Dabaris women's team continued their dominance in the inaugural Santos Cup National Rugby League women's competition, after recording an emphatic 30-0 victory over Mount Hagen Eagles, their second win of the season. Central started the match in emphatic pace, getting a couple of tries early in the first half that very much set the platform for the scoring spree.
Following the resounding win over Gurias in round 1 of the women's competition last week, Mount Hagen Eagles did not pose any threat both in attack and defense from the opening exchanges, giving the Barries the upper hand early to dictate terms to them. Central Dabaris showed good composure and shape in the attack to unsettle the Eagles' defensive early. Led by inspirational captain and former Orchid Carol Humel at prop and Nisela Ravu at dummy half provided good leadership and control through the middle of the ruck. Out the back, Central had a lot of speed and power, which proved too strong for the Eagles' defense. The injection of Rugby Sevens convert and two-try hero Mary Biama on the left edge was a real menace for the defense, with every carry that left their opponents wanting on numerous occasions. The Barry's tries came from Nisela Ravu, Mala Mak, Mary Biama a double, and Fredlin Ali. The Barry's coach Kathy Yap was happy with the girls' overall performance, especially their execution and defense.
I believe my girls played really well and outstanding football. They had a really great game today. A really aggressive defensive game, and our forwards were really up strong, and not forgetting our backs, the hard runs and the rucks they did to get us in front. It's like a dream come true for me, and I'm sure most of the girls. We've never thought ladies would really play Digital Cup, or now known as the ExxonMobil Digital Cup. So for me, it's a really proud moment for me. Coaching the girls and having them play here is just a dream come true for us. So I just, like to thank all the sponsorship and the board for PNG Rugby League, and not forgetting the board for all the franchises, especially for us, the Dabaris girls. We wouldn't be playing like this if the board wasn't supportive of us. We have a really great Dabaris board that is behind us and supporting us all the way. So a big credit to them as well.
Captain Hume played her role well with a number of barnstorming runs to put her team on the front foot.
I feel so proud about the performance today. Well done to my girls, and also to our sisters from the Western Islands. Thank you for the good game. And we just work on our game plan. So at the end of the game, we got the result because we played very well today. So thank you to all our coaching staffs and our franchise, the Dabaris management, and not forgetting all the sponsors for making this women's game come in so far this far.
The Barry's next match will be against the Port Moresby sisters, Port Moresby Vipers, this Saturday at the Santos National Football Stadium. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The newly introduced Santos Cup PNG National Rugby League Women's competition continues to impress, with some tough matches over the weekend. After last week's opening round of matches played in Port Moresby, the women's round 2 games were hosted in Lae, Rabaul and Port Moresby. The Santos Cup this year will see more female match officials being accredited and assigned to officiate more women games. Lae-based female referee Jacinta Jack officiated at her second Santos Cup match on Sunday between Lae Tigers and Goroka Lahanis in Lae. Meanwhile, building on from last week's opening round, Lae's next Tigers and Goroka Lahanis went head-to-head on Sunday in a crucial encounter Adelaide Rugby League Oval finishing 4-4 at full time. In the other women's fixture, East New Britain, Gurias recorded their first win at home against the visiting Port Moresby Vipers 4-0, and the Barris gave Eagles a 30-0 hiding to get ahead on the points table. That wraps up the sports segment. Now the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Southern, partly cloudy with chances of brief showers. Daru, partly cloudy with few rain showers. Kerema, mostly cloudy with few showers. Alotau, mostly cloudy with some rain showers. And Popondetta, partly cloudy with few showers. Momase, Ley, Wewak and Vanimo, partly cloudy with possible few showers. Medan, mostly fine. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau, cloudy with few rain showers. Kavieng and Buka, cloudy with few rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Kokopo, Rabaul, partly cloudy with chances of brief showers. Kimbe, partly cloudy with few showers. Highlands, Mount Hagen, cloudy periods with few showers. Goroka, Bands and Kundiawa, partly cloudy with few rain showers. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy with some rain showers. Coral Sea, seas slight to moderate with southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Solomon Sea, seas slight to moderate with rough patches over eastern sector with southeast to easterly winds of 10 to 20 knots reaching 25 knots over eastern sector. Bismarck Sea, seas smooth to slight with southeast to easterly winds of 5 to 15 knots. And Pacific Ocean, seas smooth to slight with southeast to northeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to KY Islands, Kerema, Yule Island, Hood Point to Samarai Island, Cape Vogel, and all Milling Bay Islands, and waters of Finchafan through Vitia Strait to CSE, Long Islands, and Bougainville. Seas 1 to 2 meters rising to 2.5 meters to 3 meters at times along warning areas. Waters of Cape Vogel to Huon Gulf to Finchafan, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of Medan to Wewak, Vanimo, and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas 1 to 2 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands and West New Britain, seas 1 to 1.5 meters. And waters of New Ireland to East New Britain, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters.
And that ends the news this evening. Have a pleasant night. Bye for now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.